Hey guys, welcome to another video. In today's video, we will be covering Jackson annotations. In the last video, we covered Jackson object mapper functions. So let's get started. So Jackson annotations are used in serialization and deserialization to denote that this particular field which we have declared in Java as an instance variable is a JSON property, or it should be ignored, or what condition should be applied to it. So for those, we are having Jackson annotations. So we will be going through these main Jackson annotations one by one, and we will be applying them on a simple Java class. Okay. So the first one is at the rate JSON property. So at the rate JSON property, this one. At the rate JSON property means if we are having any instance variable in our class, so and we want to denote that this is a JSON attribute. So in that particular variable, we will give annotation at the rate JSON property. For example, let us create one radio class and let's give it the name of product, and inside that let's declare a instance variable. Let it be a string, so let's give private string product name. And this particular class is a JSON data class, and I will be using that for serialization and deserialization. And I will give a notation at the rate JSON property, and in the bracket I will be giving name for this. So what this name will be used for, so let's say the name is product underscore name. So what value, okay, this value. Okay, so what this means is that JSON property means this is going to be a JSON attribute in the upcoming string, and the value denotes that what will be the name in the JSON. So the JSON will be around, will be like that, and the attribute name will be product name is equals to some value. Let's say product 1. Let's say this is a sample JSON, and this is what it tells. This value tells that this product name will be mapped to this particular variable. So this is how it done. Now moving to other annotation, which is JSON property order. Okay, let us learn this one. So it is given at a class level, and what we need to do for this is we will first import this. Okay, what is going on? The rate. Okay, we have imported it, and let's say our first attribute was product name, and the second one is, let's say, product ID. Product ID. So what we are going to do is we will give at the rate JSON property, and in the value we will be giving product underscore ID, or let's not give value for this one. So private, let it be a string as well, product ID. So what this JSON property order indicates is that the first property will be product name and the second will be product ID. So if let's say we are doing serialization and we are going to create a JSON out of this particular POJO class, so that JSON will be having product name as the first attribute, product name, and some value, product 1, then product ID, and some value, let's say P001. Like that it will go. What happen if we move this from here to here and product name to the second one? So now what does denotes is the first attribute should be the product ID instead of product name. So this format will also get changed and it will become like this. So this is the use of this particular annotation at the JSON property. Okay, let's move on to the next property, that is at the rate JSON raw value. So let's say if we are having a string inside that, so private string, let's say product details. Okay, we are having a string product details, and this product details is itself a JSON. Okay, so what we need to do at that case is JSON raw value we will give. So what this JSON raw value will denote that this was a particular string which is defined here is a JSON string in itself. So this what this product details will be, this product details will be a JSON string in itself. So like product, let's say PID P1 comma group ID, like that it will be a JSON string. Okay, so that's why we use at the JSON raw value. Coming to the next annotation, we are having JSON value. So instead of JSON property, we can also give JSON value. That is both of them annotation we can use. And so coming to the next annotation, we are having is at the rate JSON root name. So what this at the rate JSON root name works for, if we want to do wrapping in our JSON attribute. So how we can do that is, let's say we are having this and we are giving JSON root name, and in that we will give value as master product. So what this particular JSON root name denotes is that this particular object JSON is itself under this particular JSON. So what this means is we will be do it here. So we will be having a JSON structure. Inside that we will be having master product, and this master product will be a JSON itself. Okay, and inside this our object is going to be, okay, so our project will be under this particular JSON. Okay, so our product will be here, product details will be here under this particular then. So product name B001 and product ID. So this is how it is going to be. So this at JSON root name is used for this particular purpose. Okay, let's move on to next annotation. The next is at JSON serialize using custom date serializer dot class. So for what purpose this is used is, let's say we are having a date object in our Java class. So let's say private date. Okay. So what is going to happen is when JSON is going to serialize or deserialize is, Jackson is going to serialize or deserialize is. So what is going to happen when JSON is going to deserialize or serialize it? At that time, it will be taking a standard format that may be denoting this whole time in seconds only. So that does not make any sense. So for that we use this particular annotation at the JSON serialize, and we will give that particular serialization used in the bracket where we are giving the using tag. So using this using tag we give that particular class name. So what this denote is at the JSON serialize, what it says that Jackson, when you are doing JSON serialization, you need to use this particular class instead the normal generic class which is available. You have to use this class, and accordingly you have to convert this value. So this is how this JSON serialize is used. We will be seeing that in the later session, like how we can exactly use this and how to create a custom date serializer. So let's leave it for now and move to the next annotation. So next is JSON deserialize. Similarly for the JSON serialize as we discussed for this one, same goes for this one. Okay, and JSON alias is one more annotation. So let's say we are having one attribute, private string product feature. Okay, and we are not sure what will be the name of this particular attribute when it when it comes in the JSON. What will be the name of this particular attribute? So in that case, what we need to do is we can define two names. Let it may be product feature or it may be product underscore feature. So if it matches any of these two, it will map that particular value to this particular string. Okay, so for that at the JSON alias we use. Let's move on to next annotation, which is at the rate JSON ignore properties. So this is a class level property, and at the rate JSON ignore is an attribute level property. So when we are using at the rate JSON ignore properties, we will be declaring it at the class level. So let's say this, and what it says that now the particular attribute you have provided here will be ignored. So let's say product name I have given, that ignore this particular attribute. So what is going to happen is now JSON during serialization deserialization will not use this particular object. This value will always be missing in the serialization as well as in deserialization part. Okay, so that is for what for JSON ignore properties is used for, and this is a attribute level annotation. So let's say I want to ignore this particular value, so I will give at the rate JSON ignore. Okay, so this value will also be ignored now. Okay, the next one is JSON. The next one is JSON include. So this is also a class level annotation, where in the class we can define some validations. So what it is going to do is, so it says that only include non-null values. So let's say that product name came out to be null in the JSON. Okay, this product name, where is the JSON add one JSON. So this JSON, let's say this product name came out to be like this. So this is a null value. So this particular, or it comes as let's say null as like that. So this at the rate JSON include, what will do, it will ignore this particular property as it is null. So this is what at the rate JSON include is used for. And at the rate JSON property we have already covered. At the rate JSON format is again a formatting part where we want to format, like for example for this date we want to format it in a specific format. So this particular annotation we can use. So using custom date serializer we can define the whole, we can override the whole serialization part. While using this particular JSON format we can just simply give the format. So in some cases where we have a complex requirement, this might not work at the JSON format. So in those cases we need to go with proper serializers, custom serializers. Okay, so this is how this at the JSON format works, and that's it, guys. So these all are the main Jackson annotations we use in our REST APIs when the payload is JSON and the response we need to return back is also a JSON structure. So these all annotations are used. Okay, that's it, guys, for this video. Till then, see you in the next video. Bye bye.